Welcome back to the second part of this, and in this part I'm going to talk mostly about different kind of games, and going into detail what I like about them and what makes them special. First off, Haunting Ground. Haunting Ground is a game released by Konami in 2005 for PlayStation 2. It was I admit I really like the graphics for more reasons than fan service. And it mechanics based around a sort of fleeing. You don't really want to get in touch with the creatures. You just want to run and hide from them. If they catch up to you, you will most certainly die. Most cases you hear a very agonizing scream from the protagonist. Quite unpleasant. And, well, the story revolves around alchemy and, well, finding eternal life, and apparently she's a source to it. I didn't really get a hold of the story. I find it quite complicated. But in the cutscenes, you see very much of this because it is very smooth and animationing in some parts, while others it fails, but it fails with a backstory. And as for the characters, some of them are plain. I mainly find the main character plain, but at the same time, it is quite of interesting to see her flee from stuff. And, well, it is scary on the other hand too. It is not that much of a jump scarish, but it is this feeling of crap, something is following me, I have to get away from it. What do I do? Where do I hide? Do I even have a chance to hide, or is he just going to, well, make me a doll? Yeah, look into those eyes. Um, so really, the character's kind of morbid too. They want to either have her as a doll or eat her womb. Yeah. In the bad ending, you get impregnated by an old man, and you have to, well, you bear the child of him as a reborn. Funny, huh? The next game on this beautiful list is, wait for it, Eternal Darkness for the GameCube. Released in 2002 by Silicon Knights. It used a different sort of mechanic with sanity, very based around also Lovecraftian themes. And it could actually taunt you into believing that, as you can see, the television settings were changed. It could mute your system, it could make bugs appear on the screen if you have too low sanity. It can even taunt you into believing there's a to be continued. And after all these sanity effects, the character will always start to scream, "This can't be happening." Yeah, you actually relive your ancestors' memories to find out what happened to your uncle, why he died. Actually, you find him in a pile of goo. And I actually own this game, but this game scared the crap out of me. I bought it for we have a Wii, and when I was going to play it, I played for, well, 3 minutes, and then the sounds in the background started to freak me out too much, so I just shut it plain down. I couldn't play more. And when I played it again, I just died all the time, so yeah, I basically gave up. A bit too early, maybe. I don't know, it's a great game, and it's sad that they never used the system again with sanity meter for GameCube games. And the third game series, or games, I'm going to talk about is Silent Hill. I'm mostly going to talk about 1 and 2 because those two I have more experience with. I know a little bit about 3, but yeah. It is a game, the first game was released in 1999 by Konami, and it is up to 9 games released now, when you don't really count the HD collection, which was released not too long ago. And I don't even know where to start about these games because I love everything about it. I love the storyline most because in the first game there's Harry who's looking for his daughter, and well, all for I don't really remember why, but for some reason he thinks Silent Hill is a great place to find his daughter or something. I don't really remember. It was a long time since I played it. And well, he meets up with these grotesque monsters that haunts his mind, and Alessa in well, Silent Hill 2, which is my favorite one, we have James. James got a letter from his wife, dead wife to be precise, to say that said, meet me at Silent Hill, basically. And the genius travels to Silent Hill and tries to find her, his dead wife then. And surprisingly enough, he doesn't find her yet. Yay! Instead, he finds grotesque monsters like, well, Pyramid Head for one example, and I think everyone knows who he is, if you have heard anything about horror games before. If not, you will never forget him. That geometrical shape is quite unforgettable. That is his buttocks. Well, yes. And it got a whole story around it, and psychological influences, symbolism, theories around it from the fan base that they want to know, but no one told them, so they made up their own theories about maybe James is reliving his lives every time he die or something. Who knows? It is very interesting, and I really love the game. I haven't had the opportunity to play Silent Hill 2, but on the other hand, I've been quite a geek about it, so I know plainly everything that is happening or is going to happen in the game. And even things that is not happening within the game. As if, yeah, I knew the ending beforehand, so I won't spoil it here. It's okay. And for the next game, I want a drumroll, please. It is one of my absolute favorite games, BioShock. I got this game 4 years ago, but I was scared shitless to play it. And when I finally brought the game up from my dusted shelf and played it, it became one of my most favorite games still. I don't have that much to actually meet up with this game because there's too much to love about it. I love the steampunk feeling, I love the characters, I love the storyline, I love psychological stuff. Twisting your mind. I was not about to use another word there, I swear. But well, people are arguing about is this really a scary game, and well, I couldn't play it for 3 years, I was too scared. And so yeah, I will call this a scary game. Sure, it uses jump scares, but yeah, you get on the edge and you wait for jump scares to happen, mainly. Yeah, I really love that game. And finally, for my last in-game depth about in-game depth, we have Amnesia. It is a game that released 2010 by Frictional Games. Actually a Swedish company, so it is a Swedish game. Hooray! We're famous for something. A game that scares the pants out of everyone. But yeah. This is also a game, much like Eternal Darkness, that plays around a sanity meter. And, as you can guess from the title, your main character has amnesia. He doesn't remember a thing about himself. His name is Daniel, and in this game, the sanity meter affects how Daniel feels, and it doesn't affect you as much. The creep part is when you hear his teeth grinding, and you see how the screen moves around. You can get illusions. The paint is changed, everything change. The monsters often make this worse, as the monsters in the first are quite terrifying, but after time they get quite harmless. I don't know what that particular monster is called, but it is the one everyone is scared of, and it is, I call him Flappy Jaw. that fits him. He's not that scary for me anymore because I've seen him too much. So, yeah, I haven't played this myself, but I've seen so many played it, and as it's Silent Hill 2, I've read a whole bunch about it, and it is definitely a game to be on the lookout for. So with all this information now, and all that I'm talking about, what have you really learned about this? Well, it is me telling you this, and maybe you will get a whole new, maybe, just maybe, you will look at horror games in a different way, and maybe learn to appreciate them in another way. And every game doesn't have to be the ones that jump at you. There's other games that can give you the same amount of excitement by not having jump scares. And it doesn't have to necessarily have to take away all the fun without jump scares. It can still be a good thing. Who knows? Really, it's just up to you to make up your own opinion about how you feel about horror games and if you're ever going to sit by a computer or a console to play games again. And now, signing out.